Hi, I'm Susan Hyde, and I am a real estate agent with Keller Williams. I am working out of the OP brokerage over here in Overland Park, Kansas. I'm licensed on both sides of the state. I work with buyers, I work with sellers. I do quite a bit actually of just increasing my luxury division of my business and commercial. And investment. So all of those things, I think anybody who buys a piece of property, even if you're a homeowner and that's all that you think, you just bought an investment. It is a commodity. So it is very much the same as entering the stock market. It is something that rises and falls, generally rises over time. We've only had really one bad fall in my lifetime, and that was in 2008. And now we're back and way up over any investment value that you had way back then. We've totally recovered from that. One thing that I would like to tell people today, that is the reason why I'm making this video and sending it out to all of my people and anybody that happens to see this, is there's been a lot of information in the news and on social media lately regarding the commission structure, sellers versus buyers, buyers versus sellers. I'm here to tell you that really not much has changed at all. With the licensing and being a real estate agent, there's tons of paperwork. Any time that the government regulates or gets their hand in anything, it's red tape, right? It's the way it's worded. It's all the steps you have to do. It's like and we get all kinds of updates constantly in this industry because it's always changing. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad or that there's some sort of alert or an alarm out there for people to be concerned about. If you are hearing information regarding buyers' commissions or the structure of them, I want you to know something. Nothing has changed. The buyers have always had a side of the commission. Everything in real estate is negotiable, always. When I sit down with a listing, with a seller, I walk through all the expenses that they need to pay, the expenses they incur when they're getting ready to set their home up on the market. There are expenses. By the time you get to closing, you're going to have items on a list. The buyers have the same thing. They're just different expenses, right? So what happens when you put those figures together for a listing for the seller? Hey, Mr. Seller, these are all the things that you're going to incur, commissions being part of that. The commissions have been split for quite some time. I won't go into the date or the time that those actually came into reality for the industry of real estate agents. But the split has been 6%. I'm with Keller Williams and it's a 6% over the straight across the board. Some people have different prices, but we're mainly 6%. That gets divided right down the middle. 3% of it goes to the seller's broker and 3% of it goes to a buyer's broker. And then they pay us, the real estate agent. When you are negotiating the price of the home, the buyers are the one that set the market. I don't care what price that a seller wants to put on their house. We have to look at the stats of the market. We have to look at what buyers are doing. You may think that you're able to set the price on your home that you want, but what happens with these houses that get overpriced on the market, the buyers basically send the message, I'm sorry, you've overpriced your home. And that's when you hear crickets. Nothing happens. Generally, that means you've overpriced your home. In a changing market, we are constantly watching the stats. We are constantly looking at what the buyers are buying and where they're buying. And it's a constant ebb and flow. So in this current market, with some of the changes of the rules and the fine print that we have in our documents, I just want you guys out there to know, really nothing has changed. Buyers get to negotiate with the sellers. Sellers get to negotiate. And we get to find a common ground in the middle where we can both agree and purchase a home. So if you are curious about any changes or you have questions or you're hearing rumors about things, even if you read an article on anything, I would very strongly urge you to get hold of a experienced full-time real estate agent who is up on the recent changes and the things that are happening in the industry to explain to you exactly how it works and what affects you and what doesn't. Because quite honestly, not much has changed. We are looking for an incredible market. This is going to be good news. Same for buyers. Little bit better news maybe for buyers. Sellers the same. It's been a seller's market for quite some time. It is shifting. Buyers now are getting a little bit more leverage. Instead of it being like this, it's starting to do this. So I would encourage every buyer out there. Interest rates are looking better. The market overall is looking better. We still have a housing shortage that's going to last for a while, but I'm going to tell you that every buyer that comes to me that wants to buy a house and is ready and able, they end up in a house. So let me encourage you. Call, stay steady, move ahead. Now is a great time to buy a house. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have questions, my number is 913-633-0757. Susan Hyde. Great to talk to you guys today.